Hey YouTube, so we are at the Red Coconut in Fort Myers. This is the second video. This is the beach side, and there'll be all kinds of footage. So there is 4 rows of campers here that are on the beach, and as you can see, they're right on the beach. This is how they get the campers into the beach. I just happened to capture this while we were here. Our channel is predominantly on camping and taking our Jeep out and enjoying life. So please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you like this kind of content. And this is the second video that we have on the Red Coconut in Fort Myers, Florida. We are on, I believe it's Escudado Island. And so anyway, this is a beach camping, and this is all the premier area this side, and then the other side is the park side, which is where we are camping. There's lots of parkside footage in the last video, but there is some parkside footage in this video too. So the left side obviously is the front row. It's also the most expensive row to be in, and then the prices go down the further you get from the beach. And this side is very, very difficult to get into, and the front row is exceptionally difficult to get into. The way that it works here at the Red Coconut is if you get a reservation here, you automatically have the next year's reservation also on the exact same days for the exact same site if you decide that you want to keep them. So because of that, a lot of the people that have the prime days in the prime sites will just automatically get the next year if they want it. So because of that, of the way the reservation system works, it can be really good if you end up in one of these spots, but it can also be a little bit frustrating if you're trying to get into one of these spots, so to speak. But you know that at least every year you can get in the same exact spot or better than where you were the previous year, if you know that you're going to come here for every Christmas, let's say, or something. So as you can see, the tractor is on the beach. When they pull out, they will pull them out over the beach. So because they're pulled in like this, there's no fifth wheels on the front. This is the park side. This is really close to where we were camping, just to kind of show you a little difference. And on the park side, you can see that they use a tractor to get people in and out also. And the park side is much more like a traditional campground than the beach side. But obviously, you are in proximity to the beach. You can very easily walk over to the beach if you so choose. And they'll pull you in and pull you out at your request. I noticed a lot of people would always kind of get pulled in, and then they would pull themselves out unless they were really, really large like that, and they needed assistance getting out. So this is what it looks like at night. So if you look at this campsite especially, you notice how the left side, it almost looks like that grassy area on the left side of the concrete would be traditionally part of the site on the left. This would kind of give you an idea of what it's like at night, where in fact that isn't part of the campsite on the left. That's a whole campsite by itself. And yeah, this is what the time lapse looks like of it getting dark, and this is what it looks like if you pull in late. And this is our friend pulling in. So he pulled in where you kind of would expect if you were pulling in, but actually, yeah, that's where the spot is. That. Look how tight that is. He pulled in and it's almost like he's. I think we either had to ask him to move the awning, or he's almost touching the awning. This is extremely dog friendly. Also, the beach is dog friendly. This is obviously a baby Corgi, and the baby Corgi has her ears up, and she is absolutely cute and absolutely tiny in comparison to Grace, who is our Corgi, who's probably 4 or 5 times the size of this Corgi. So here we are on the beach with Grace, and obviously the beach is the main feature here at Red Coconut. And you can see people ride their bikes up and down, and it's all dog friendly. You see dogs everywhere. There are a few places where they're not permitted, like on the dock, and at any restaurants where they don't want the dogs in the restaurant. But most of the restaurants, it felt like, were extremely dog friendly. And you can see people even flying kites out here. The beach is by far the biggest feature here. The fact that you can camp and walk right to the beach. And yeah, there were dogs literally everywhere. So, you know, if you're looking for a beach and you're looking for somewhere to camp and you want to bring your dog with you, this is a fantastic place to do that. There was this little security patrol that would go back and forth, and they had a little cage on the back, kind of like, I guess, to pick up stray dogs or something. And the security patrol kept going back and forth, checking on the beach. The water out here was very cold, but I mean, it's ocean. It's not like a warm lake or warm pool. But we are on the Gulf side, so I mean, it is, I guess, warmer than it would be on the other side. And here we are taking our bike. And at one point I had Grace with me, another point I didn't have Grace with me. But Grace loves to run with the bike down the beach. And obviously, if you've never been on a beach on a bike, having bigger tires is a good idea, and staying near the water is also a better idea, believe it or not, because the harder the sand is, the easier it is to ride your bike, and it can be nearly impossible to ride your bike if you're on the real kind of fluffy sand and you have narrower wheels. Even my bike, like even the Cannondale mountain bike, it would be difficult to go across like the real kind of fluffy sand. And here's Grace, and yeah, she'll just keep up with me. Sometimes she'll fall a little behind, sometimes she'll get ahead of me. And obviously I'm riding the bike like while she's running next to me. So where are we going? So this is one of the coolest things here. You see all these people that are walking, and there's like water on both sides of them. How cool is that? So this is a sandbar, and this is probably the biggest sandbar I've ever seen. And you can see the regular size part of the beach on the left. So this location, like where is this at if you come out here or whatever? So this is between the main touristy area, which is like where the pier is, and you can see the pier and everything over there in the one direction. And in the other direction is the red coconut kind of over there. So anyway, so between the red coconut and the main tourist trap is this gigantic sandbar. And this is what it's like at low tide. And then at high tide, it's submerged, just a little bit submerged. And you'll see people out here playing with their frisbees, playing with their dogs. It is just the most amazing thing to have this humongous sandbar that you can walk around on. The water, I did find it was significantly warmer between the sandbar and the beach than it was like where we were, where there was no sandbar. That might be obvious to some people, but I just wanted to point that out. The other thing was the area between the sandbar and the beach was kind of muddy. It was a lot, it wasn't like quite so sandy. So the right side is the ocean, headed out toward, I guess, Cuba, and the left side is obviously Florida. And it's just interesting the fact that you can be on either side of the sandbar. And you saw that there were even boats that were out here on the ocean side. The sandbar out here, I think it's out here for hours on end. The rotation or whatever of like the high tide and low tide is a long period of time. And so you have this huge opportunity of being out here on the sandbar if you want to be out here. But the other thing is, like, while it's submerged, like, there's a huge delay on it, between it getting submerged to being unsubmerged or whatever. So either it's great or I guess it's not here. I imagine when it is submerged, you could still come out here. So this is the pier that we were talking about. I know that some of this footage has already been out on the channel. And what you see there is the main restaurants. And then if you look out down in that direction, that's where the red coconut is, way down there, a couple miles down. And on the right hand side is where that sandbar is. You can maybe barely see it out there. I think it was submerged maybe in this footage, but it was barely there. And then this is the rest of the pier going out. And like I was saying, this pier is not pet friendly. This is one of the only not pet friendly areas. And then here is the other side of the Fort Myers beach. Humongous beach. And it's just amazing the fact that you can camp like right on the beach or on the edge of the beach. So this is what the sunset looks like when you're out here, and I did a little time lapse so you can see it. Because in the last video we actually showed a sunset from the park side, and it was like not so spectacular. There are restaurants that obviously face the sunset, so you could easily find a restaurant and just sit there and enjoy some drinks. But you have to keep in mind, I mean, this is over probably a 45-minute time period that you're seeing this time lapse, and obviously it can be difficult to get the exact seat, to get the exact perfect view. So while we were here at night, like everything kind of lit up a little bit. So anyway, please like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video.
I think we get used to them eventually.